In 95% of organizations, employees participate in an annual ritual. They sit down with a manager and agree on a list of SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. It has become the undisputed default operating system for the modern workplace. The logic seems sound on the surface, but check the achievable and realistic requirements. In most companies, hitting 100% of these realistic targets is directly tied to an employee's annual bonus or their chance at a promotion. When you demand that a goal be achievable and you attach a financial penalty to missing it, you trigger a behavioral loop known as sandbagging. Employees intentionally set artificially low targets that they are absolutely certain they can hit, guaranteeing their payout. Employees enter these safe goals into a spreadsheet, and they are largely kept private. Because they are only reviewed once a year, teams spend 364 days working in complete isolation, optimizing for outdated tasks. A handful of industry giants recognized the structural flaw years ago. Companies like Google, Netflix, and AB InBev dropped the SMART framework. Instead, they operate on a system driven by FAST goals, targets that are frequently discussed, ambitious, specific, and transparent. SMART goals optimize an organization for predictable compliance and safety. FAST goals are engineered to drive cross-team alignment and rapid adaptation. In 1989, CEO Marcel Telles took over a struggling Brazilian brewery and immediately physically tore down the office cubicle walls. He wanted to force the transparent pillar of the FAST system, requiring managers to post their targets and current performance in the open for everyone to see. Making goals public removes the need for executives to manually cascade information down the chain of command. When everyone can see what everyone else is working on, lateral peer pressure replaces top-down micromanagement. This chart shows how often employees check colleagues' goals. They check immediate teammates about twice a month. But look at cross-team interaction. With public targets, employees check colleagues on other teams 4 times as often, connecting the dots themselves. Broad visibility only works if the goals actually mean something. This requires the specific pillar. Decades ago at Intel, Andy Grove pioneered the OKR system, which stands for Objectives and Key Results. This framework forces employees to translate broad goals into a handful of testable, quantifiable milestones. Radical transparency shows everyone the map, and specific metrics provide the exact coordinates. Together, they turn isolated departments into a single organism that can spot its own redundancies. For dynamic technology companies, an annual goal is useless. The market moves too quickly. This necessitates the frequently discussed pillar. Instead of filing objectives away until December, teams review their progress weekly or quarterly. This allows leaders to test a hypothesis, see if the metrics hold up, and instantly reallocate resources if they don't. This chart displays the percentage of goals that are set on a quarterly basis across different industries. The sectors facing the highest volatility, media and information technology, overwhelmingly adopt short-term quarterly targets just to survive the pace of change. This brings us to the most uncomfortable pillar of the framework: ambitious. Google expects its employees to achieve an average of only 60 to 70% of their key results. Hitting 100% means the goal wasn't hard enough. Disconnecting goals from financial bonuses frees employees to pursue order-of-magnitude improvements. For complex tasks, relying on intrinsic motivation, the internal drive to solve a hard problem for its own sake, spurs innovation far more effectively than paying someone to hit a safe target. This creates a dual engine. Extreme ambition forces radical, outside-the-box experimentation, while the frequent check-ins ensure that if a bold experiment fails, it gets corrected long before it causes a disaster. If the data clearly shows that extreme ambition and transparency yield higher performance, why do most traditional companies actively resist it? This survey data ranks the factors managers believe influence corporate promotions. Past performance dominates the top. Down at the very bottom, at a mere 13%, is pursuing ambitious goals. The culture itself penalizes the risk required for massive growth. When an organization demands 100% completion rates and punishes failure, it incentivizes its smartest people to wring tiny incremental gains out of existing products rather than build the next great thing. Organizations that operate on the FAST framework look completely different. Redundant tasks surface immediately and are discarded. Departments align their workflows without waiting for executive memos, and the fear of failure is replaced by the expectation of learning. In a rapidly accelerating economy, optimizing for safety is a massive risk. True execution means recognizing the SMART framework for what it is, letting go of the need for perfect compliance, and building a system that is fast,